Good afternoon, Camp Davy Crockett.
I'm Hayden.
And I'm Zeph.
And I'm Shawn.
And welcome to the Camp Davy Chronicles.
Welcome to our newest special guest, Shawn Cecconi, our assistant program director and camp historian.
It's great to be here.
That's true. This isn't even just a special guest.
It's not?
Nope, he's not special.
He's not special. No.
This is the guest I've been waiting for over the last 3 hours.
That's a long time.
That is true.
I thought you were going to say like your whole life because waited for it. I think I've been waiting for this my whole life and just not known it.
That is true. You know, oh gosh. I was teaching my archery class, and I was, as I got closer and closer to this moment, I was just getting more and more excited. And now we're here.
We're finally here. The moment has arrived. Shawn Cecconi is on our podcast. One of our first listeners.
Yep.
That's true.
That is true. You know, we had talked about, like, in our second episode, how he had listened to a VPN and listened from Germany.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
And now we know that we actually have had some real foreign listeners.
That is true.
Because Samuel, who worked on the World Jamboree staff, got some of his friends from there to listen to us. I don't know if they listened for more than 5 minutes. They might have been like, wow, these people are dumb, and then turn it off. But
well, from him, it sounded like most of them didn't speak English. So I'm sure that would be a little tough.
Yeah, it might be. It might be. Maybe that's where we got the question that said, are you fluent in English?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Although, I mean, that would seem backwards because, I don't know.
Maybe we do a whole entire episode where we speak Spanish.
No.
But so, I think we need to address something before we actually get into this.
Okay.
Shawn is really outgoing and, loves to talk to people. And so this is going to be a hard episode for him. So
he's fine.
Oh, yeah, that fits me to a T, of course.
We all love Shawn. He does so much for this camp.
Shawn's amazing.
Really he's the real program director.
Oh, I don't know about that.
If even JD will tell you he doesn't do anything. Shawn does all the work.
That's true. They literally made a position, assistant program director, for Shawn.
Yeah, and it fits him perfectly.
Yeah, it really does.
Like, this job was literally made for Shawn, but if it wasn't made for Shawn, it would still be made for Shawn, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I remember my first couple years as when he was like Scoutcraft director, like his working here.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, now I know.
I remember, so you remember how we've had people on our staff this year who have been like, oh, you taught us this in this class, and it makes us, feel weird. Okay, Shawn taught me camping merit badge in 2016. So,
I had pioneering with Shawn.
Yeah.
And I remember it specifically because he failed me.
What?
Did I do that?
Yeah, remember you had like kids make projects?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So I made a monkey bridge, but it fell apart when I brought it to you. And so you failed me because you said I didn't make the thing.
Oh.
Well, I cried about it for like 30 days.
Did you get the merit badge?
No, I didn't.
Oh, never bothered.
I got it after. Like I didn't make it for it. But yeah.
It sounds like you just did a bad job, Hayden.
Are you sure this is me?
Yeah.
This is a different Shawn Cecconi.
Yeah, no, I've held a grudge this whole time.
You never told me about this before.
Well, we're clear in the air now.
So anyway,
I know.
We need to talk about this week of camp, which has been Community Week. And this is something that we've never, ever done before. And so it's been a little bit of a...
yeah, we gotta find nice things.
It's been a bit of a stressful experience for us because let's just say that it was not very well planned.
That's true. So let's go into a deep conversation for a second.
Yeah.
So, with this week has definitely been stressful. Staff and anybody that was here was not prepared to handle what situation we've been put into.
Mm-hmm.
I think now that we are towards the end of the week, because this is Friday, so I think now that we're towards the end of the week, staff knows what's going on, the kids know what's going on, and so it's been a lot better. But definitely the first 2 days and the first 2 nights were rough.
Yes.
Trying to get everybody settled, because we had about 74 kids. Trying to get everybody settled in their campsites and get them, to go to bed was an interesting challenge, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're down to like 32 kids, And it's going great.
Yeah.
Well,
just because some of them went home early, like we didn't lose any.
That definitely helped. Yes,
Yeah.
but does everyone who's listening know what Community Week is? And
I don't think I even know still what Community Week is.
I'll try to define it as best I can to my knowledge.
That'd be very helpful.
I need you all to imagine that if Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts were going to camp at the same time, and there were like no adult leaders whatsoever.
Yes. Yes.
And
also it's mostly Cub Scouts.
Right. Yes, mostly Cub Scouts. A couple Boy Scout aged people, and like maybe
4 adults.
Yeah. Yes, all divided among them. And it's basically staff who are operating as both the people who are teaching the classes, people who are the patrol leaders.
The staff is everybody.
Everybody else.
So we've had to have some of our adult staff stay in the campsite with them as chaperones. Yeah, and it's been very stressful on them too, especially that first night because none of the kids would go to bed.
Right. There has definitely not been a break for any of the staff this week.
Yeah, no.
It has been stressful.
Right now, recording the podcast is the longest break that I've had so far this week.
I know that most of staff is not thrilled about it and the idea of it next year, but hey, I think next year when it happens, we'll be better prepared for it because now that we've got one under our belt, we know kind of what's going on. We know how to better prepare for it. And I think this year has definitely been an eye-opener of what we can do, what we can expect of the kids, and kind of different things like that. Definitely a lot more Cub Scout-aged kids anywhere, because we were told anywhere from 8 to 18, and we definitely got more of the 8, 10, 11. 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
And, but, like I said, now that we're towards the end of the week, they're starting to behave, and they're starting to realize, stuff like that. And so it's been interesting.
It would definitely be helpful if we had a lot more like adult chaperones.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think that's the main thing that's made this extra stressful for us has been having all those extra duties as well. And if we were able to just kind of focus on our program jobs and not have to, watch them so closely, that would be helpful.
Right. Honestly, I'm just happy that because earlier in the summer, I heard all sorts of numbers of how many kids were going to get sent during Community Week. I heard numbers as high as like 400, 600.
Yeah.
It's how many did we get in the end? It was like 70?
Yeah, about 74, I think. Yeah, no, if we'd have had 400, I don't think staff would still be here. No. I'm going to be honest.
We wouldn't have been able to do it.
Yeah.
So it's worked out as well as it could have, I think.
So just a little bit of honesty on our side.
Yeah.
But how it's been rough, but like I said, it's gotten better as we go. So I don't want to make it seem like it's just terrible.
Right.
They're good kids.
Yes, it has not been a total disaster. I think it's been stressful for us because we hadn't had good planning for it, and we didn't know what to expect at all. Even management didn't really know what to expect, but I will say that this week has been really good for the kids who have been here.
Oh, yeah. And they've absolutely loved it. Yeah. And the kids that have gone home have basically been homesick. That's why they've gone home. And the kids that are still here are like, because today's their last day. And I've had 4 or 5 kids come up and be like, I never want to leave. And I'm like, good, you can stay here with me all summer for the rest of your life. And they're like, yeah, maybe I'll go home.
But still, I'm glad that we've been able to help out a lot of these kids and help them have a good week.
Yeah, I always love to have an impact on a kid's life. Because that is a cool experience for me.
So what has been some of your favorite things that you have gotten to do this week?
This week? Oh, man. So I went into this with a different strategy than all the other staff. All the other staff kind of went in with, I'm going to be the older, bigger, more mature person and kind of scream and yell and kind of stuff like that. I have decided that I was going to take a different approach and become their friend. And I tried to remember every single kid's name. It's definitely a lot easier now that we have only a few, 32 or so. But I have almost remembered all their names and am able to, I've got handshakes with some of these kids, and it's just been great.
Congratulations on all the name learning.
Yeah.
I don't think that you're the only one who tries to be their friend though. That might be a little harsh on.
Of course, Pop-Tart.
But and this is true with scouts too. Sometimes it's hard to find that balance between being the authority and being the friend.
Correct.
But I think it's been sort of an extra challenge this week with the younger kids that we weren't prepared for, but
Yeah, definitely.
we've been able to work it out.
But I've definitely enjoyed it. I mean, these kids, like I've been saying, now that we're towards the end of the week, they've been more better behaved.
Yeah, sure, Hayden.
Yeah,
okay.
We're all tired, and so
so you keep repeating yourself. You said that like 3 times.
Well, like I said before, these kids were out of the end of the week. I don't know what to say. I don't want this week to sound awful.
No, it hasn't been awful. It's just been a lot of stress. Sean, what's your favorite thing that's happened this week?
Favorite thing that's happened this week? Oh, that's a good question. I think some of the kids are real wonderful. Like I've been with them. And,
sounded really sarcastic.
No,
I was quite serious. I've been around a lot of these kids, and some of them are just really wonderful. I've especially been with them on the eco history tour with Zeph. And so basically we bring them in the museum, then we bring them on the eco hike, and then they go to the eco room, right? At the end.
Yeah.
I'm there at the first part in the museum, and they're actually, I didn't think they'd like it because most of them are not scouts. There's like a couple that they're like, oh yeah, I was here week 3 or something. I'm like, I didn't I don't remember you. But they really enjoyed it, and they were asking questions and stuff, and it was just real great.
Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed this about Shawn sometimes, Hayden, but he does sometimes sound sarcastic when he's not. I don't know what it is, but
and sometimes I don't sound like I'm sarcastic when I am.
That's true. Sometimes it's hard to
I
tell.
can never tell with Shawn. That's the problem.
But let me tell you another thing about Shawn, because like he said, he's been doing the eco history tour with me, and we start in the Scouting History Museum in the HQ that talks about camp history and scout history and all that stuff.
Right.
And like you said, you wouldn't expect them to be interested in that really, but I can't tell you what it is, but something about Shawn is just magical and gets them to listen and look at the things and be interested, because I don't think that I could get those kids to be interested in that stuff, but they walk in there and you can have the worst behaved kids in the camp, and they'll go in there to the museum with Shawn, and he'll start pointing at the stuff and telling them about it in his calm voice, and they all shut up and listen. It's amazing.
It's because he's terrifying. Like, now I've gotten older and been able to become his friend, or at least I think I have. Who knows? He probably still holds a grudge from my pioneering project. But, he's a terrifying person.
I never thought that he was a scary person.
That's news to me. I've never heard anyone say that before.
See, that sounds sarcastic. What's going on?
I'm so confused. I can't tell. I'm giving up on that.
Oh, man.
It's my birthday today.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Shawn, happy birthday to Shawn.
I know. I even embarrassed him this morning. I had all the kids sing him happy birthday at breakfast.
Yes, you really did.
I was in the serving line serving breakfast, and I missed it. I was very sad.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so it's not Shawn's birthday when you're listening to this now. So
but wish him a happy birthday.
Wish him a belated happy birthday.
Oh boy.
Yeah, in the comments.
Yes.
Leave
a comment below.
Yeah,
happy birthday, Shawn.
Yeah, he will look at every single one of them and he will say thank you, and you will feel it in your heart.
You're obligated now, Shawn. Now make sure you tell them how to spell your name.
Oh.
For the comment.
Well, won't it be on the episode?
Oh yeah, it will be on the episode title, of course. We still want you to talk about this because you're very passionate about your name.
I guess you're obligated though to just spell it wrong anyway, just in the spirit of things. So.
Yeah, guys, I might just put this way in the title of the episode. Sean.
Oh no! Don't do that. If you spell Shawn Sean, that means scene.
Yeah,
I'm coming out here with my controversial opinions here. This is It
does. Yeah. It does. No, I had a kid this morning, and that's how he spelled it, and actively knew it was Shawn and still called him that on accident.
Yeah.
There you go. My gospel here is spreading.
We had him in the eco history tour too, and I walked in and told Shawn, "Hey Shawn, we've got a Shawn here. He spells it Sean," and they almost fought each other.
Wow. Shawn gets passionate about things.
We're about to go to fisticuffs. If you spell your name with a U though, you're okay in my book.
Like
though.
SHAUN.
Yeah, you're fine.
Because you're SHAWN.
Yes, yeah. Okay. If you do it that way, I'm cool with you.
Because both of those are in English, that phonetically makes Shawn.
Yes.
SEAN would be seen, but that is the original spelling of the name.
I don't acknowledge that spelling.
Oh, that's true.
They put it on my name tag.
Did
Oh,
they?
They did it. I've never worn my name tag all summer because I got it from Mike. And somehow, despite it never being in any documents, they spelled it.
Oh man, I have, Shawn. I have to put it on the episode.
Oh, I'll show it to you after
No,
this.
like I have to put it on the episode title, spelled SEA.
Oh no!
Maybe I can put like with quotation marks, like it's your nickname, like I did with Pop Tart.
Oh, okay. You go on right ahead.
You know, Shawn.
Shawn Cecconi.
So what is your middle name?
What is my middle name?
Yeah, do you
If you're okay with putting that out,
No,
in public.
you have to.
That's a secret.
Oh.
That is a secret. That's what I tell everybody.
It's Lewis.
Lewis?
Is it?
Yep.
Who? I feel like there is someone here with the middle name Lewis.
Yeah, my middle name's Lewis.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, it is.
Did
Yeah.
not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, now you do. See, I'm not scared, Shawn. But, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where we're going
Well,
after that.
let me tell you my favorite thing that's happened this week.
Okay.
So yesterday, I don't think I told you about this yet because I wanted to save it for the podcast. Yesterday,
We also haven't, talked at all.
yeah, that's true because we've been so busy,
Right.
And we never talk to each other because we don't like each other. No,
Yeah,
I'm just
obviously.
kidding. I have had my coolest eco moment of the summer.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday during insect study class. Now, it did not have to do with insects, but
Oh, yeah, I think you mentioned it to me, but
Did
you
I
didn't
mention-
tell me.
okay.
You
Did
didn't
I tell
me
you about
because
this, Shawn?
You
No,
told me
it
you wanted to
wasn't
say
even.
it.
Right.
This isn't even Scout Week anymore.
I know, yeah, but I had my coolest eco moment of the summer. So I was in insect study. We're on the ecology porch, the front porch of the trading post,
Uh-huh.
and there's that little birdhouse next to it. And
Right.
we have bluebirds in there, and we'll see them flying in and out during the classes sometimes, and we'll look at them. So
Is it
all
a
of
blue jay?
it's a bluebird.
Okay, so it's not a blue jay, so it's
Right.
not coughing.
No,
Way down yonder.
Oh yeah, the Blue Jay song that calls. Yeah, the bluebird's like it's got a blue back and kind of a orange belly or throat. So all of a sudden, I'm in the middle of teaching and I hear the bluebirds get really loud all of a sudden, and both of them are there and they're flying in circles down to the ground. Okay, so I walk over to the edge of the porch and see there's a rat snake that's slithering up towards the birdhouse pole, and it wants to get their nest, and they're defending it.
Wow.
And so they're dive bombing the snake on the ground to try to scare it away, and it's not doing anything. The snake doesn't care. Okay, so it gets up to the base of the pole that the birdhouse is on. It pokes its head up and it starts to climb up the pole because rat snakes are really good at climbing. And so I run over to the edge of the porch. I yell all the kids, "Stay on the porch," because I don't want them to mess with the snake or anything. I run over and grab a long stick with like a forked end and get the snake down off of the pole and push it away, and it gets the idea that I'm a lot bigger than it, and it doesn't want to mess with me if I'm out, and it just starts slithering off into the woods to find something else to eat, and I help the birds save their nest.
Cool.
Yeah.
Seems like they had it covered.
That snake.
You messed
Didn't have
with
to scratch.
nature.
I did, but it was so cool.
I, for one, think that as the eco director, you have the power to control, the nature.
That's true. Why didn't you just do your little telekinesis?
I bet he rigged it.
Yeah. He just wanted to
set it
seem
up.
like the hero.
Yeah, because Ethan Rose was with me just to help me watch the class,
Right.
and he said it was like something out of a Nat Geo documentary, seeing the birds defending their nest. It was
So
like,
he definitely set it up like
see the
Shawn.
bluebirds defending their nest from the black rat snake.
And then Zeph comes
And then,
along.
But-
Sorry, little
Yeah,
stinky.
see, because they live in the birdhouse that's right there on my watch. I feel responsible for them. If if it's
course.
just like a wild bird nest out
They
in the
live in
trees, then
They
it's
live in
fine.
a bird's nest on your watch.
No, on my watch, like I'm watching
You have
them.
a bird's nest on your watch?
Hayden, have you never heard this expression before?
No, I mean I'm looking at your watch. I don't see a bird's nest.
Yeah, right there.
I don't see one either.
131 bird nest.
Oh, okay.
No. But yeah, it was really
Yeah, that
cool.
does sound cool.
And they were saying, well, why did you? Because one of the kids did try to help me by they picked up a little rock and threw it, and they missed the snake. But I told them, don't throw anything at the snake. This is also my friend. I just want to stop it from eating my other friends.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, as you
And
do.
so yeah, and then they were like, well, then why are you messing with it? And I said, well, because I don't want him to eat the bluebird eggs, and he needs to go find something else to eat that's not in my birdhouse.
Yeah, he probably came back that night.
No, they're still there. We saw them this morning.
That's what he wants you to do. It's just a snake in a bird
Snake in a
outfit.
bird costume. We did. So I have this app that tells me what birds I'm hearing.
Okay,
Like if
cool.
you hear a bird and you can record it, and then the app will tell you what bird it is from the song. And I had one kid ask me, "What if they're all mockingbirds and they're just wearing different costumes?"
Oh,
Because mockingbirds like will imitate other birds' sounds.
I will say, every time I have seen you use this app, it has not worked.
What do you mean?
No, granted, I've not like been with you on all the eco tours and everything. So, but every time I've seen you use it, you've been trying so hard to get it to work, and it's just not.
And it says like alligator.
Yeah.
Well,
no, it just doesn't even get that far.
This morning I did bird study, and we did hear plenty of different kinds that it identified, like the Carolina wren, which is very common on camp, the cardinal, goldfinch, and some other things like that, the chickadee. We heard all those. But at one point, I had heard one thing that was different, and I was holding it up, and I was trying to get it, but all it was picking up was the wrens and the cardinals. And there were also lots of insects buzzing, and so sometimes I just want those insects to, like, shut up because I'm trying to hear
Use
what
your
the bird is.
telekinesis.
Yeah. It doesn't actually, this is not real, Hayden. I can't make them. I wish I could.
There's 30 birds outside the window right now. They're sitting here waiting on you to come back outside.
It's kind of scary, honestly. It's like that movie, you know?
Which one?
Are there multiple movies where there's like birds that like the horror movie, you know?
I don't know.
Horror movie.
Yeah, that one.
Anyway,
I wouldn't watch that one.
With when you're using the app and it listens and it hears one of the birds, it'll light up which bird it is when it'll
like the bird glows.
It'll list all of them on the app, and whichever one it's currently hearing will like flash yellow or something like that. And all of a sudden, while I'm making this recording, Canada Goose just pops up on it, and it never flashed yellow; it just popped up. And I'm pretty sure I know what geese sound like, and I did not hear a goose. And we were right by the wolf campsite, and we went in there and looked out on the lake. There's no geese here. I don't know why. So sometimes it'll show up a weird thing like that, and I'm not sure if it just heard some weird noise or if it's
interesting.
Just,
there's a lot of cool apps out there for cool
it
things.
is a good app though. It's called Merlin if you want to get it. Not sponsored. It's free.
Yeah. Cool. That's actually kind of cool. Shawn, so what is your experience with this app that you don't like it apparently?
I won't say I don't like it. I'll just say that every time I've been with Zeph, you know, that's what it is. Every time I'm around Zeph, I guess it just doesn't work or something, you know?
Maybe.
So I guess whenever I'm not there with you on the eco tour, it does work.
Oh.
You know, I don't have that eco magic because I've never really been on the eco program. The only time I have taught an eco class is, well, actually, I think we're going to talk about this later. Unless, do we want to get into? You know,
no, we've still got about 10 minutes.
Well, we can. If he has, it looks like he has multiple camp stories. We might want to start the interview early.
I do. Go ahead.
Hey,
be our guest.
Okay.
Yeah, you can tell an early camp story right now.
So
your eco class.
Not many people know this, but I'm probably one of the few staff members here who has actually worked at different camps.
Whoa! Oh, yeah, in different countries.
In different countries,
which is really cool.
I was a military brat, so I was in Germany for a while, and I was working at one of the camps. It no longer exists. It was called Camp Byron. This was all the way back in 2015. While I was there, we were in what we called it the dining hall. It was really just a shelter.
Okay.
See, we had actually been kicked out of the land the camp was on. Okay. So we tried holding the camp again at a different place. Yeah. That was the last year we had that camp. It was a good camp, but I was there and we were in our sort of dining hall shelter.
Okay.
And there was one of the other staff members there. He was on the ecology staff, and he was swinging on a hammock strap. Something you should never do.
Yeah,
never
that's a really
do.
bad idea.
And he broke his arm.
Well, there you go. That's why you should never do it.
Yeah. So the next day, I was actually a quartermaster that year, which was an interesting choice. But I was the quartermaster that year.
Did you catch many quarters?
Oh yeah, if you have quarters, throw them at Shawn too.
Yeah.
That camp didn't have a trading post, so no, I did not get any quarters. I just got, you know.
Did you hear our episode with Jerry?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. But
that sounds like a non-listener.
no, there wasn't any quarters, and you know what? None of the staff were like on like cleaning duties or anything. No. So everything like
fell to you.
all on me. But then the camp director, he walks up to me and he's like, okay, I need you to teach this class. The class is in 5 minutes.
Oh my God.
He hands me the merit badge
Love
book.
it when that happens.
This is for nature. And there's no lesson plan.
Yeah, wow.
Okay.
You can see why when I came here, I had some very specific things I wanted the staff to do.
Oh, Shawn is really good at making lesson plans.
Yes.
If you want to cover for someone else's class, it better be Shawn's because he'll have the most detailed lesson plan you've ever seen.
Yeah.
I made, and JD rejected this, I made like a 5-6 page lesson plan. It is detailed. I've never used it, but it's impressive.
So while we're talking about other camps, there's something I want to bring up. I was going to bring it up later, but I'll bring it up now. So on your uniform, you've got a thing that you call your man rope.
Oh.
And I really want to discuss the man rope.
Wait, was that the end of the story or not?
It's not the end of the story.
Okay.
But you know what?
We'll discuss it. Act like I never said that. Hold on. You finish your story.
We'll discuss the man rope later.
What
Anyway,
man rope?
so I get there to the class, and this is nature, and I'm not sure if any of you guys have taken the nature merit badge, but basically it involves things like, hiking around in the woods, learning about different plants, taking like plaster Paris casts of different animal footprints and stuff. Am I getting that right, Zeph?
We don't do the plaster cast here because that's an optional thing.
Oh, okay.
It is cool to do it though. We just don't have the materials for it.
I think that was one of several options, and we weren't able to do the other options, at least. That's the wrong thing to say. What I should say is there were other options. I didn't know how to do those options, so I stuck with that one.
Okay.
Anyway, before that, I had been on what was Eagle Bound. We called it something else there. So I at least knew some things about the ecology in the area. So I looked at the merit badge book real fast, got a rundown of the requirements, told the kids, hey, we're going on a hike. And every day of the week, we went on a hike. Yeah. I used what meager eco knowledge I knew to try to point out as many things as we could. I tried to do the plaster of Paris cast. Thing was, they had bought the plaster of Paris in Germany, so all the instructions were in German. So we basically did not get a whole lot done. And in the off chance that one of those kids is watching, listening, yes, I am sorry. But hey, they didn't realize they were having a grand old time.
So what year would this have been?
This would have been 2015.
Wow, okay. So that's actually not too far.
Yeah, the year before I came to work here.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, if the plaster of Paris was brought in Germany, why wasn't it called plaster of Berlin?
Oh, that's a good point. Probably because I can't read German. I just figured it out. So.
He just guessed.
Now this is podcasting.
Yeah, that was okay.
It could have been flour for all I know.
Shawn's just with a bunch of kids in flour and water.
Yeah. Maybe that's why it didn't work.
Oh. This is a great episode. Let's talk about the man rope now.
Oh, yeah, okay. I want to talk about... Okay, wait, so there's something I want to bring up.
Okay.
While we're talking about other camps. So there's this thing on your uniform that you call your man rope.
Yes.
And we need to discuss this. Because if anybody's seen Shawn, there's a rope and it's his man rope.
It's just some 550 cord it looks just like any regular BSA cord, and you wouldn't really notice it unless you just sort of knew about all the different cords that are given out, and you go, wait a second, that doesn't look like any of the normal BSA cords. And okay, so if we rewind back all the way back to 2011 or 2012, I'm not even 100% sure exactly when this was. I was at a different camp. This is also a BSA camp, but this is in South Korea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so again, I was a military brat, so my dad was in the Army and all that. We were at a camp there. This camp was called Camp Liberty. I don't even remember where it was, but...
South Korea.
Somewhere in South Korea.
It's not that big.
I've been told.
That's very specific, yes. See, at that camp... okay, this is kind of weird. In the showers there, the staff had put up a list. It said, how to get, it's like the man rope challenge or something like that.
Okay.
And basically, it listed like 10 or 15 different challenges. And if you did one of those challenges and succeeded, the staff would give you your man rope.
Right.
Okay.
Nothing weird. Like it just happened to be.
It does sound like hazing.
It just happened to be in the bathroom. Like it wasn't anything weird.
No. It sounds weird, but I promise you there was nothing, that violated anything within the. I'm serious.
Simple challenges. Is there an example of a challenge that?
I mean, which one did you do?
So there were a few challenges. I can't remember all of them.
Right.
One of them, for example, was like an arm wrestling competition. There was the hardest one, which a friend of mine did.
Ooh.
It was where one of the staff members dressed up in a ghillie suit ran into the woods, and after a set amount of times, you would have to find them within a set time limit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I did the eye staring contest against. It was a guy who was known to be really funny.
Oh, okay.
So I managed to succeed, and he gave me my man rope.
Cool, man.
Yeah, so that's cool. So for us, it would be like do the polar bear swim or something like that. So
maybe we should start.
Yeah, no, that's what that's what. Ever since he's told me that, because he told me like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I would always ask him, "What's that?"
Yeah.
And then I've always thought that was a cool idea.
Who would you have to do the eye staring contest with?
Shawn, obviously.
Shawn, actually, that might work.
It would be quite
That
unexpected.
I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I've been staring at Shawn this whole time and not seeing him blink once. We've been...
Is Shawn a lizard person?
Maybe.
Anyway, Shawn, what's the word of the day?
The word of the day. Well, the word of the day is gumption.
Ooh.
I heard about gumption. This is a scouting themed word. Since I am the sort of historian here.
Right.
I heard about gumption while reading the works of Daniel Beard, one of the founders of scouting here.
Uncle Dan.
The West. Yes,
I have an uncle named Uncle Dan.
Oh,
also,
that's true.
Is your uncle one of the?
No, it's not that. It's the different. It's my Uncle Dan. He's not the Uncle Dan.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I read about gumption in one of his books. He actually uses the word in several of his books. He argues that people need gumption, and gumption. Does anyone want to take a guess what that means?
I know I recognize it.
You recognize
I'm going to let you define it.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll let you define it.
Well, at least if you look it up, it could mean initiative, resourcefulness, aggressiveness, and common sense, which I would like to point out is very similar, but slightly different than be prepared.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Which I think is very important, because when we hear "be prepared," we think, I think a lot of scouts, when they hear it, they think, I need to have like my sunscreen and all my like different
pencil
stuff.
And paper.
Yeah,
every class.
Be prepared with stuff. But
right.
I think everyone always forgets it also means you need to be like mentally prepared.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what gumption is basically about is being mentally prepared. Knowing what you need to know, being resourceful, having the initiative. So
maybe we need to change the scout motto.
Be gump. Is there an adjective form of gumption? Gumptional?
I think, Zeph, you have invented a new word.
So
Be gumptional.
I am very gumptional. I feel, yeah. But I still think the be prepared, I think you combine the two. Be gumptional prepared.
Be gumptionally prepared.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, I like that one. Yeah.
So it's like resourceful, common sense with some sort of like strength.
Gung ho, yeah.
Gumption, the word makes me feel like there's strength to it, like moxie kind of.
Yeah, it's a nice, aggressive little word there.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was great.
Yeah. What's the joke of the day? Do you have a joke for us?
I do not have a
joke.
Man,
okay. So
my joke was rejected.
We're going to have to cover for the jokes. Do you have a joke?
Do you have a joke?
I do have a joke.
Okay.
I think. If I can find it. Hold on.
Okay. If you don't want to turn your phone on, I can use one. I have one left in my reserves currently. So I don't know if I want to use it because I don't Like, I thought, when we started this, I thought that it would be fairly easy. Like, whenever I heard a joke that made me laugh, I just write it down and I keep a long-running list, and eventually... But I never remember to do that.
I've got you could either use your joke, or I've got 2 bad jokes.
But, well, I don't know that mine is particularly good either. It made me laugh, but okay. Well,
then I'll save my 2 jokes then.
Okay.
Because mine are definitely not going to make anybody laugh.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if this will either. It's kind of it's a dad joke.
Okay. Sure. Well, maybe we'll tell it in another one, but we'll see.
What's the best way to burn 1,000 calories?
What is the best?
With fire?
Leave a pizza in the oven too long.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, so that one wasn't that funny. On the same line of burning calories, what do sprinters eat before a race?
Nothing.
They fast.
That's a good one.
That one is better when you say it, I think.
So.
Yeah. Anyway, see, this is how we do jokes here on the Camp Davy Chronicles. We don't go for the highest quality of the land. We go for the ones that...
That's true. Hey, I've got one more.
Okay. Well, you're going to waste them all.
No,
do you have any
great.
Well, you're not going to be here next time.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
So we were sitting in the office.
Okay.
And, Peanut was walking around.
Yeah.
And JD said, "Hey, have you seen the dog ball?" And I said, "No, I didn't know he could."
Oh my goodness. Now I'm just imagining Peanut with trying to push a bowling ball down the...
Yeah. JD didn't say that, but the joke didn't make sense if I didn't relate it to something.
Right,
so,
sure.
Anyways, go ahead. Before JD gets mad and says, "I didn't say that."
What? Oh, JD said?
No, he didn't say that.
You said JD said.
Yeah.
I thought you said that you said it.
I don't know.
Anyway, Shawn, do you want to... Okay. What's your interview time? These interview questions time. Okay.
Here we go.
So we've already kind of covered your position as the assistant program director.
Yes.
Which was invented for you.
Apparently.
Kind of, yeah. I remember Tori asking for one before, an administrative assistant.
It had been floating around.
So, but it was officially made for you.
Are you the assistant program director, or are you the assistant to the program director?
Oh, yeah. And then there's program assistant, which I've heard as well.
What? Who's that?
I don't know. I've just heard that.
Shawn.
I've heard that phrase floating around as well.
All 3 positions are Shawn.
Yeah, Shawn has lots of jobs. Yeah. He's also the museum curator.
Yeah.
So what are your previous positions you've held, and how many years have you worked on camp staff?
Are we talking about in general or just here?
I guess both. Since you've worked at multiple, you can...
I would like to...
Give us just a quick rundown.
Okay, so my first year working as a camp staffer in general was 2014. That was Camp Byron. And I worked there as a... Well, I guess we'd call it Eagle Bound, but there they called it either Frog or Ace, which Ace sounds like a cool name, Frog does not.
Yeah.
Hey, frogs are cool.
Did that stand for something like first?
It's one of those
first
acronyms.
Requirements of gumption.
I've heard a lot of names. Like, originally when I was early in scouting, I heard First Class Trail, and then there's a lot of names. But after that, 2015, I worked again at Byron, but it was in a different location, and I worked as the quartermaster. Okay. And then I came here 2016, and I worked. It was on Scoutcraft, David Maynard, I think. I don't know if I'm saying his last name correctly, but he was the Scoutcraft director that year, and I was just a Scoutcraft, merit badge.
Right,
yeah. And then 2017, that was when I became the Scoutcraft director. Wow. I remember it was at the beginning of 2017. It was that second staff meeting. I was walking toward HQ. I was on that gravel path that goes off the main road. Oh, yeah. And I was just about to step onto the porch. And Tori comes the other direction. And she's like, "Hey, are you 18? And I'm like, "Yes." "Do you want to be the Scoutcraft?" She was like, "Do you want to be the Scoutcraft director or something?" And I'm like, "Okay."
That's pretty much how it happened with me too. I mean, a little bit more in advance, but basically they were just like, "Hey, we really need someone to be the Scoutcraft director. You're 18. Will you do it?"
Yep.
Sure.
Directors really are just told, not
specifically Scoutcraft director. I feel like is always the one they're looking for.
Yeah, I, to be honest, I feel like Scoutcraft director is kind of just sort of. It's like, oh yeah, we got to get the aquatics director. We got to get the shooting sports director. Wait, what did we miss?
Scoutcraft. It's always
and no one. Everyone always misses it on the evaluation sheets too. Like when you remember, we were talking about this when I was Scoutcraft and you had been Scoutcraft, we would always read the evaluation sheets and they'll put comments for the different program areas. And Scoutcraft, if it says anything at all, it'll just say good.
Yeah, it really does.
Don't know what to say.
Yeah, the best evaluation that I remember was the one for eco, and it just said snake.
Yeah,
I remember that one. Yeah, If you're coming back to camp next year and you're either a scoutmaster or a senior patrol leader, and you get that evaluation sheet, You could write very good Scoutcraft. That would be pretty fancy.
See, I think part of the problem is no one knows what Scoutcraft is.
I don't know what Scoutcraft means. I was the Scoutcraft director, and because you think about it, you think you know what it means. It's like Scout skills, right?
Right.
But then you get to camp and you look at all the merit badges that are under Scoutcraft, and for a while there was golf, and there's all these random merit badges. It is whatever we can't put into any other category. That.
Except I feel like this year a lot of that's been moved to STEM.
That's true.
Golf and chess and all that are under STEM has a whole game track. They have chess, golf, and game design. Right. And Scoutcraft seem to have mostly Scout skillsy stuff.
Craft stuff, yeah.
And even handicraft is actually under STEM, which would make more sense to be Scoutcraft because that's craft in the name. But I don't know. What do I know? I'm just a lowly ecology man.
Yeah.
Anyway. Snake. So, what's your, so you've been on Camp Davy Crockett staff for 6 years? 7 years.
Is it 6 years? 2016 was my first
17, year. 7 years.
Yes. Yeah. The last two have been when I was assistant program. So I was Scoutcraft for 4 years.
Yeah. Right. So, okay, next question. What troop or troops have you been in, and how many years in scouting have you been in?
Oh my goodness. That is a very complicated question.
I imagine it is. And what countries were each troop in?
Okay, let's start from the very beginning, rolling all the way back to 2006.
Oh man.
I was in first grade, because I don't remember these by how old I was or any of that. I was in Japan.
Ooh.
This would have been Camp Zama, in case any of you actually know where that is.
Yeah, Japanese listeners out there,
Yeah, or military,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I would have. I don't even remember the troop number now.
Wow.
It would be the pack. Yeah, I don't even remember now, but I do remember that was when I started. So then I would have moved to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and that's when I crossed over there. I don't even. Someone knows the council. It's Fort Bragg, Fayetteville area, and I don't even remember the troop number either.
Wow.
Because I just constantly moving around. I've had a lot of troops and packs and stuff that I've had to keep up with, but that was actually the first time I would have gone to summer camp too. It was one of the summer camps locally in that area, Fort Bragg, yeah. But then I would have moved to. It was Turkey, and the troop there...
You lived in Turkey, too?
Yeah.
I know. He literally lived in all the cool places.
I knew you lived in Germany, Japan, and Korea, but I didn't know you lived in Turkey.
Yeah, I would have been in Turkey.
Do they eat a lot of turkey over there?
Oh, strangely? No. No, they do not. It's very strange. They eat a lot of beef and a lot of chicken.
Well, it's not called beef or chicken.
That's true.
It's called turkey.
And now they changed the name again.
The country or the bird, which was named first?
Oh.
Anyway, that's a question for another time. Maybe we'll tell you on the next episode.
Yeah, there you go. The troop there had folded, so I think technically I might be entitled to a founder's patch, because we basically refounded that troop there and just sort of started it from scratch. It was me, my dad. Of course, see, the problem with that was I had just crossed over and then moved there. So I had no real scout skills or leadership skills or anything. So it was just me and a couple of friends, all scout rank or tenderfoot rank, just trying to figure things out, I guess. Which made things interesting. Try starting a troop from like absolutely nothing. It's weird. The one good thing about that was the troop originally had like a whole bunch of supplies, like cooking stuff, the sort of stuff you keep in a trailer, and that was still around.
That's
so
cool.
we didn't start like completely from scratch.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah. Then I moved to Korea. I do remember that. That was Troop 87. We were the best troop in the entire country.
Wow.
There were only like 5 troops, but we were the best. Most people have not seen this, but I have this hat. It's like this really nice brown sort of, not cowboy hat, but sort of wide brim fedora kind of hat.
Oh, is this the one you wear all the time?
Yes.
Okay.
I got that when I was in that troop. All of us had that hat.
Nice.
That's
We
really
were
cool.
the spiffiest, like, best
That's
troop.
awesome.
That actually is really cool.
When we went to like Klondike or whatever, we won all the competitions. We had those
just like
hats
us.
on. We were the best.
I
Yeah,
didn't
we
know
never
that.
had the hats though.
Yeah, I didn't
You
know the
got-
story
yeah.
behind the hat though.
That's cool.
That's really cool. It still fits you after you're like,
It still fits me.
wow.
Now you say there were only 5 troops in the country. You mean BSA troops?
Yep. Yeah, BSA. And these are all BSA, by the way. These are not... although I did meet lots of international scouts along the way, of course. But, yeah.
So after Korea.
After Korea...
Germany?
Yeah, that would have been Germany.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
There wasn't another hidden country in there I didn't know about.
And I don't remember the number again, so I'm sorry. But this troop... Yeah, this would have been one of the first troops, actually, that was founded in Germany. I unfortunately do not remember the number, but it would have been in Wiesbaden, Germany. And that would have been where I got my Eagle Scout in 2014 as well. It's kind of weird because as part of your Eagle Scout, I don't know if anyone knows this, you are kind of expected to like upkeep your Eagle Scout project.
Yeah, how's that going for you, Shawn?
I have actually no way to do that, and
Just fly to Germany. It's not that hard.
Of course, I need to get a plane ticket just to go see
every
how
month
it's-
or two.
Honestly, my Eagle Scout project is not really.
What was it?
Yeah, I was about to say, what
Okay,
is it?
so it sounds really amazing, and then you look at it, and it just looks kind of sad looking.
Okay.
Okay, let me describe the premise. The premise is that it is a bug hotel that's supposed to protect ground nesting bees in a former U.S. Air Force base that had been given back to Germany, and now there were these endangered ground nesting bees that this bug hotel was trying to protect. A bug hotel, by the way, you can sometimes see them in general stores. They're like blocks of wood. Maybe they're shaped like a house. They got little holes drilled into them. Maybe there might be some pine cones in another section of it, and little bugs live in them. Basically, these ground nesting bees were supposed to use it, and it'd be great and everything. Right. Okay, so we even decided it was going to be made out of reused materials. Oh. So this sounds like an amazing project. So we found a base for a fish tank, and we mounted the thing on it. And it was made from old pallet wood, and it sounds amazing. It looked terrible because we couldn't paint it because the odors and stuff from the paint would mess with the insects. Yeah. But I mean, it's functional. That was the point.
That is functional.
After we put it down, it was time to move, and I've never seen it again.
Did you have pictures with it?
I do have pictures of it. Okay. I don't know where those pictures are, though. I will see if I can eventually get them to you.
I am interested.
If we can get them from you and put them on Instagram, it would be pretty cool.
Yes.
It would be cool.
Yes, it would be cool.
First ever Shawn Cecconi picture on Instagram.
But then I moved back here, and that was the summer of 2015, and my dad retired. I joined Troop 112, and I've been here ever since. This is actually the longest I've ever lived in one place before.
Wow.
Okay, don't speak too soon.
Oh, that's
please true. Don't leave us.
I am currently trying to apply for jobs. And
in Germany?
No, the search is starting to expand quite wide, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, Shawn, what is your? We might have to speed through some of these questions because we're going a bit long, but that's okay. It's been really, really fun. What is your favorite campsite and your favorite program shelter?
On
Okay.
this camp.
On this camp, yeah. Dining hall shelter at Germany doesn't count.
Of course. I will say, I feel like my answer for campsite may change slightly depending on like where these new shower houses may go.
Oh, true.
But my old favorite would be Wolf. It's just very nice there out on the lake.
Wolf is a nice one.
I have
Yes.
spent lots of time at Wolf this week that I normally haven't because we've gone there with the nature hikes and stuff, and it is really, really peaceful.
Yeah, it is.
Once I go there with the groups, I never want to leave, and they don't either. Like,
Until a storm blows in.
Yeah.
Half the
Of course.
campsite.
Yes. What was the other question?
program shelter.
Program shelter. That one's a little bit of a tougher one. It might just end up being Fred's place because it is definitely, at this point in time, the nicest shelter. I will say, by the way, Hayden, archery, that shelter there is a close contender
it's a
now
nice
that
one.
now that you've got that range up. But definitely Fred's place.
But now Freddie's place has a concrete floor.
That is true. We don't have a concrete.
Yeah, I walked up there like week 4 this week, and I had never actually walked up to the shelter this whole summer. Last year I taught there, and I walked up and saw the concrete and was like shocked because I didn't even know it was put there.
Yeah, that's not even its final state either.
It's not. What else are they adding
They're
to
supposed
it?
to put like a full like backsplash like pizza oven kind of deal.
Oh my gosh!
It's just going to keep getting
Fred's
fancier.
Fred's place
Like,
might become
what-
the default obvious answer for this.
What shelter in camp can say, we have a pizza oven?
Not anyone else. Okay, Shawn, favorite Marvel movie?
Okay, so I'm gonna have to give a bit of a default answer, at least I feel like, but just sort of out of nostalgia and everything, I'm gonna have to go with the Avengers simply because
Oh no, that's good.
that was sort of the moment where I was like, wow, it's all coming together because I'd watch like the Iron Man and the Hulk and all that, and then I'd see, oh,
right,
wow, this is actually the whole multiverse thing.
Well,
yeah,
it
well,
wasn't really
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Back then, it was a novelty to see
Yes.
different characters on the screen together. Now, like people expect it, and it's like, okay, whatever.
yeah.
Anyway, what's your favorite dining hall food?
Dining hall food. Okay. Am I allowed to do Wednesday luncheon? Probably not.
I guess. Well, it's not really. It's not a dining hall food.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it was cooked in the dining hall. though.
Well, this
By
this year's wasn't.
Okay, well, yeah. I did like, though, as far as the Wednesday luncheon goes, back like 2-3 years ago, we had that, like, what was it, that pork,
Oh yeah, the like I know what you're talking about. I don't know what to call it.
what was it called? Now I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
I should have wrote that down, but it was like this pork, like, cooked pork thing.
Yeah, like
It
pork
was-
tenderloin or something.
Oh, that's what it was, tenderloin, yeah. And it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. But that really doesn't count, though, does it?
No.
Yeah.
I would probably be split between the cherry blossom chicken.
Okay, yeah,
That
which
one.
we do need to talk about here in a second.
Yeah, and what was the other one? It might be like, not the roast beef, no.
Roast beef is decent.
It is pretty good. I don't remember what the other one is off the top of my head. What were like some of the different favorites over the past? 'Cause I'm trying to remember now.
The pizza boats were the like personal pizzas.
Back in the day, yeah.
Oh, those
Those were
ones.
good.
Yeah.
I don't know, the pizzas were a bit of a mixed bag for me
That's
because
true.
sometimes I'd get the pizza and it was like, okay, so the bottom was crust, the middle was like fiery, hot lava, just tomato sauce, like half an inch thick, and then just like a sprinkle of cheese, just like
they
the
were really
thinnest
saucy,
layer of cheese.
Well, that's why I always called them the pizza boat because like you knew you were gonna buy it, and this like lava hot was just gonna pour out.
Yeah.
Normally, I don't like pizza that has like a lot of sauce and not that much cheese, but those I really like.
That was good.
for some
Yeah.
reason.
So since we're talking about it, after 4 weeks or 5 weeks, I guess because I wasn't here 1 week, 4 weeks of begging Lori, our dining hall manager, she finally was able to get an order of cherry blossom chicken in. And so last night, which would have been Thursday night, we had the best meal at camp. And it was amazing.
I got to take the extra spring rolls.
Yep. And I got to take the extra chicken.
Yeah.
But yeah, staff got seconds and the campers didn't, but it's all right. But it was great. Like it brought back memories that I never even knew I had.
Oh,
Years
last year.
gone by.
Last year.
Of
Yeah,
years
last
gone
year. Yeah,
by.
1 year.
And now Lori did say that it'll probably be the only time we ever can have it again because they stopped making it.
Yeah, the chicken supplier stopped making chicken. So.
I had not heard of this.
I assume it was the sauce that they stopped.
I don't know.
Anyway, but how did she get it?
Yeah, well, because she was able to find it. The problem was she wasn't able to find it for that many people during a summer camp.
Right.
And so this time, because there were fewer people, she still was afraid that we weren't going to have enough, but she went ahead and did anyways because I begged and pleaded.
Yeah.
But we had enough, so
yeah,
cool.
we had some at least.
So, okay, next question. Well, this one could be a long one. Favorite camp story, or one of your favorite camp stories?
There's probably two.
You might have to just pick one.
I'll go with the short one.
Okay.
We seem to be running low on time here. One day, I was walking into Fred's office. This would have been back in maybe 2018 or something. Fred's office, by the way, is currently the office me and Mike are in.
Right.
I think it says administration on the door, which is kind of confusing because there's the
one outside. It's the one inside the hallway of headquarters on the left.
Yes. I walked into his office. This was before the renovation and everything. He was just in there. Art was not in there at the time. And I walked in there.
Art was the business manager?
Yes, yeah. Art was the business manager back a little while ago. I walked in there to ask him a question, Fred. And I was talking to him. At least I started talking to him. And then one of the fluorescent light fixtures on the ceiling just fell right on the floor, just smashed into a bazillion pieces. And Fred just did not move an inch. Cool as a cucumber. He was just still sitting in the chair, staring at me, and not changed eye contact whatsoever. And I'm like, I'm in shock. This thing had fallen right directly behind him. And, I didn't even remember, what I wanted to talk with him about and all that. I'm just like, Fred, are you okay? And he's like, it's okay. This happened earlier. And I'm like, no, that's not the normal response I'd want to give.
I like that. This has happened earlier.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm in that office now, and last year and this year, I have repeatedly looked up at that ceiling, at those lights. I know Pop-Tart's dad has gone in and changed them all out completely, but I'm still looking at them, just thinking, one of these days,
it's just gonna fall.
That's
true. And we were looking at the ceiling the other day, and this is how closely Shawn looks at the ceiling. So me and Caleb had went up to fix some cable, and I had hit a nail back through the ceiling, and it was like a tiny little nail. And the next day, Shawn comes back, and he's like, is that nail always been sticking out of the ceiling? So that's how closely he looks at it.
He's not taking any chances.
If you ever drop by the office and I'm there, I will point you the changes that have occurred to that ceiling.
He's got them dated.
Yeah. So here's their question from the previous guest, Tate Weber. He wanted to know, what is your favorite animal and what's your least favorite animal?
Ooh.
Okay, so I'm not too good at picking favorites, so one of these answers might not be too good. But for a favorite animal, I'm just going to go for a rabbit. I do own a rabbit, yeah.
You do? It's a big old rabbit.
It is a big, little, chunky little boy.
I didn't know you owned a rabbit.
Yeah, I can show you later. You can put it on the,
Oh, yeah.
On Instagram?
Shawn's whole life on Instagram.
There you go. I'm going to go with rabbit. For least favorite, I don't know what this animal is called.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so when I was in Korea, right?
Okay.
I was in the bathroom doing number 2. This sounds bad, but okay. So I was sitting there doing
studied his man rope challenges.
And see, above me in that house, there was one of those crawl space hatches.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
So I look up, and there is this centipede. Okay, and this is not like a normal East Tennessee centipede.
Yeah.
It's not like all body with just a little itty bitty legs. No, This is the opposite way around. So it's a little itty bitty body with a whole lot of legs, legs that go up over the body and then back down. So it's just all legs. This is just legs moving around. You don't even see the little spindly body. So he pops out of the ceiling, falls directly on the floor in front of me, and he just Like, I killed that thing. I was scared. Like, that is not something anyone should experience in their life. And I've seen those kind of little things other times there, but I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But I don't like it. I don't like it
At least
at all.
you know you don't like it.
Yeah.
It sounds like you've had some pretty bad experiences with things falling off.
You know,
You might want to watch out.
Did I mention that story about the staff member breaking their arm? There's a second half to that.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, you did.
So when I came here in 2016, there was a staff member named Daniel Eckert.
Daniel, yeah, you did the same thing.
If you are watching this or listening to this, Daniel, I'm sorry. So we were there in the trading post shelter, and he was not like swinging, but he was on a table. There were hammock straps. So there was strange similarities I didn't realize until after the fact. And he falls down and hurts himself. And this time I did not have to teach a class after that. But I remember, and Daniel, he misunderstood what I was going for here. See, he hurt himself, and one of the other staff members there was doing first aid and all that. And from my first aid training, I knew if there were too many people surrounding someone who's doing first aid, you need to get away from the area, right? So I'm trying to be sensible. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back to staff camp. What I was trying to do was just leave the area to, not have a whole bunch of people crowding around.
Right.
So apparently Daniel... And the optics of this were not too great in retrospect. Daniel's interpretation of the situation was he falls and hurts himself, and then I go, all right, I'm heading back to staff camp. Which, in retrospect, that probably didn't quite come out the way I meant it to, But the fact that happened more or less twice in a row just...
Right, and we can confirm Daniel had broken his arm as well.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, Shawn won't know because he left.
I left, so...
But I've been told.
He was fine.
Yeah.
I met him later. I still see him. He was at ETSU.
Yeah, I met him at ETSU this year.
So, what is your question for our next guest?
Okay. If you could have your dream job here at camp.
At camp, okay.
Well, yeah. But what would that dream job be? You could even imagine like camp has limitless resources for your job.
Ooh.
What would you want to do?
Interesting. Okay.
Interesting question. Yeah. All right. So the one last. This is going to be kind of rapid fire, but doors or wheels? You remember this argument?
Doors.
What? No.
Are we thinking like doors? Which one's best?
No. Which one are there more of in the world?
Oh, if I want to think which one's best, I'm going to go with doors.
Okay.
If I want to go with whether there are more doors or wheels, I would be on team wheels.
Okay. Good. I thought you were incorrect there for a second.
No, sorry, I misunderstood. Yeah.
Okay. Hayden, did you have any staff quotes this time?
I did not. No.
Okay. I think I only had a couple, but I'm going to just go ahead and do them real quick. So here's my first staff quote. It is really comfortable concrete.
Oh, it is really comfortable. Alex. I'm going with Alex. And there's a reason why, but I'll tell you more.
Good.
Maybe someone on aquatics, I feel like.
Kind of feels like an aquatics.
Or like pool.
Yeah.
Specifically pool.
Who is
Why were you thinking it was Alex?
Okay, so we had just talked about Fred's Place Concrete, and I knew that you were up there this week.
Right. Well, it was Ethan Rose.
Oh, close to
It was on the porch of the headquarters.
Oh, okay.
He was on the floor porch. He was just like little, almost napping there.
See, the good thing about this week is I know none of these will be Clayton because he was with me all week.
Oh yeah.
So,
okay. So this is the only other one I have. I don't know how much good it'll do, but I guess I'll try and nuke the moon again.
I know
This sounds like a nerd thing to say, and so we're gonna go with Erin. No, she wouldn't say that.
I know she wouldn't say it, but I want to just give that answer anyway. Just sort of.
Yeah, she would want
her to say it. Yeah.
I mean, she's a literal rocket scientist, so it's like you kind of have to give that answer.
Right. Yeah. It was Daniel Rose.
Yeah. Okay. I knew it was one of the nerd squad.
We were playing Risk 2210, in which you can go to the moon, and there are also nukes. So he was going to try nuking me on the moon.
Yeah, so just to be clarify real quick, I'm not being mean. Daniel, Aaron, Steven, and Dan call themselves the nerd squad.
And me.
Wait, I said Daniel, you, Dan.
You said Daniel. Oh, Daniel, Stefan, Aaron, and Dan, and me.
Yeah, okay. Well, but they call themselves the Nerd Squad.
The Nerd Council.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow, gotta get the title right.
Yeah, so I'm not being mean. That's just what they call themselves.
Yes.
And it's true.
Yeah.
So, okay, thought of the day.
Yes.
So, we had a couple kids here this week that had interesting names.
Okay.
Okay, so my thought of the day is anytime you meet a new person, you can tell them any name and they just assume it's your name. Right? Okay. So, like, if I had never met Shawn, of course, my name's Hayden, I could walk up and tell him my name's Dave, and he would just, out of trust for me saying that I'd go the road, he would just do it.
When I'm at, like, Taco Bell and ask for a name for the order, I do say Dave.
Do you really?
Yeah,
Why?
because it's easier than having to spell my real name.
Why don't you just say Zeph?
Because the people, like, will be like, what?
I have a conspiracy also.
I need to borrow your strategy, Zeph, for reasons we have mentioned previously.
Shawn reasons? Because they'll write SEAN?
It's easier to spell. So, no, there's a conspiracy. Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Anytime, and I don't know that I just pronounce it weird, but anytime I go to Chick-fil-A, they ask for a name, right? And I say Hayden.
Mm.
They always, I have never got Hayden.
See, this is why I have to say a simple name like
They
that.
have always got Jaden, Hayden, Kate, literally any name but Hayden. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to put Frank on it one time. I'm going to be like, that's it. But yeah, people trust you so much is my thought of just like the simple things that you go up and tell them.
Yeah, because why would you lie about your name?
Exactly. So I'm going to start telling people
Except
my
for
name.
fast food convenience.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
also,
why.
the reason that I say Dave is because I started it when I was coming here during the summer, and I'm wearing the shirt that says Camp Davy Crockett, so I was like, I'm Davy Crockett. Dave.
That's such a you thing to do.
I bet you never expected you get some life advice here on the...
Yeah. If you have a name that's hard to spell, just tell them, and they're at the fast food place and they need a name for you, just say Dave or Bob.
I would go with Ben.
Or Joe, yeah.
I would go with Ben. Ben's probably the easiest.
Ben is a good name, yeah, or Jim.
Yeah, but Ben's easy to pronounce.
Yeah, or like
Mary,
or if you're a girl, obviously, get some.
No, always go Ben.
They can't question you anyway.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Lie about it? Can you imagine? That's not your name.
You're at Chick-fil-A, they're like, I don't believe you. What's your real name?
So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's my thought of the day. People are too trusting. So I'm going to start questioning everybody.
All right. Well, Shawn, anything else to add for the good of the cause?
No, I don't think I got anything else. Although I do have some more stories. I think I'll save those for another time.
Yeah, maybe we'll have a bonus episode someday. Maybe. I don't know. We should bring Shawn on again. This was awesome, though. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. One more thing about Shawn, though. This year at Campfire, Shawn did the snail cheer.
Oh, yeah.
Which we kind of pressured him into doing it, but...
We got it on video.
I will tell... We did?
Yes.
You need to send it to me so I can put it on YouTube.
Yes.
It was the best snail cheer that I've ever seen. And I mean, that's some really high praise, because I saw Brendan Bromback do the snail cheer, and he was really good at it, too.
It was.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's some close competition there, but I mean, Shawn, I got to tell you, I loved your snail cheer.
Thank you.
Big fan.
Thank
big
you.
fan.
Yeah.
Worked real hard on it.
I
Thought
agree,
about it for a good minute.
Yeah. Yep.
The minute that you were doing it.
Yeah. No. I thought about it for a minute before I went up there.
There you go.
So,
Well,
had to psych himself up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So make sure that you follow us on Instagram at Camp Davy Chronicles. We've got pictures from the whole summer. We did play volleyball again last night. I got some pictures
It's
from
true,
that.
staff won.
Staff won. Staff versus staff.
And staff won.
And staff won.
It was
I don't
a close
know.
game, though.
Would that count on the record? So now staff's won more than they've lost.
Yep, we've won more than we've lost.
Hey. Follow us on, subscribe to YouTube so you can see Shawn's snail cheer. And
Wait, you filmed this?
Yeah,
you said you filmed it.
This is news to me.
yeah, we haven't
Wait,
put
we
it.
just said that, Shawn.
Oh, you just said it.
Sorry.
I'm gonna put it on YouTube. And then
He's
what else?
regretting his life
Twitter
decision.
has extra staff quotes at Davy Chronicles. And then subscribe on whatever you're listening to and keep listening. Next week, because on the last episode, I forgot to even say what the next episode was going to be. So next week is Weebelow's camp. Hayden's going to be at NOAC, in Knoxville, which is the National Order of the Arrow Conference.
Yeah, so that means you guys get a special guest host.
We're going to have another special guest host and another special guest, and I don't know who either of them is yet.
That's true.
We'll find out.
Put all the hats in a name.
Yeah.
Names in a hat.
Next Monday, tune in for our Weeblos Camp episode, and then the week after that will be our final summer camp season episode, which will be a summer recap with JD again. And we will bring the results of... He is going to tell us all who was more correct on the camp predictions, and we'll just talk about the highlights of the summer with him. And then after that, we'll go back to our every other week schedule.
Yep.
And Hayden will get to tell me what happened at NOAC.
Yep.
So, yeah. I hope you guys had a fun time listening, because I had a really fun time with this episode. Shawn, you enjoy it?
I did.
Had a fun time speaking. Now that we're in the end of the episode, I can tell you what I thought was funny in the whole episode. Yeah. So Shawn spoke to the mic the entire episode, and when he got mad at the audience, he pointed at it.
So, wait, when did he get mad?
I have been
that's true. He has been pointing into the microphone when he says, like, you guys listening, or like Daniel Eckert, if you're listening. Yeah.
So just know that you are the microphone. Okay, now that he can't be self-conscious, that's the end of the episode.
I'll say one of the best things about talking with Shawn is his facial expressions, which sadly you can't see. Yeah. But you can, anyway. It's a great day to be a scout at Camp Davy. Shawn.
Bye.